We took a trip over the weekend to Newburgh, New York to check out the Newburgh Toy and Collectors Show. So I took some video footage of everything they had there and figured you guys might want to check it out. So here we got the Newburgh Toy and Collectibles Show video. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and drop a comment. It'll get yourself entered in a giveaway. They had this sick banner from Raw is War back in the day, man, selling it for 15 grand or best offer, but man, I had to show that quick, man. Raw is War, just like I'm a huge wrestling fan. There's a lot of wrestling stuff at this show. You got these sick little Duke Nukem, just memory cards here. So much vintage toys and stuff like that throughout this show. Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cody Rhodes figure where he looks terrible. Little Rambo playset, man. They had this sick collectible Run the Jewels little figures, which was really unique to see. Some Jurassic Express, like I said, tons of wrestling figures throughout here, all kinds of different stuff. AEW, you got the FTR house in here, and just a bunch of other different stuff, which was a really cool to see. You barely ever get to see those at the store or anything like that. They're always sold out, the AEW figures especially, but just tons of different stuff, man. They had the sick little Gremlins thing there that was signs. The Starlight from NECA Toys, the boys, some old school X-Men figures, just a bunch of different varieties of action figures and stuff. The Trump figure there, the Cactus Jack signs figure, which was really awesome, man. There's a lot of different variety in the action figures and things that were at this show, which is really cool. Some Johnny from Karate Kid, of course, but a really huge selection of just vintage and then newer stuff. Orange Cassidy there. Just like I said, a lot of AEW stuff, which is cool to see because I'm an AEW fan. But and then other stuff like old school vintage wrestling stuff, which is I'm always a fan of. I like seeing old wrestling figures, and there was definitely a great crowd here, man. So there was 2 rooms, 1 large room, and then 1 smaller room as shown there. You had some comics and stuff throughout that. You had just boxes full of keys, and then some wall books, which was great to see. Bunch of different stuff, some like 90s X-Men stuff, and all kinds of stuff throughout here. They got that Magneto cover there, which is so damn iconic and awesome, man. Just a good selection and variety of collectibles at this show. I was actually surprised. I didn't think it was going to be this big. I thought it was going to be kind of a smaller little collectible show, but they had a bunch of stuff, man. Just bunches of boxes here to look through of comics, of different keys and stuff like that, which was, it's really always fun to see at show. I love places that have, you know, a good variety of items and stuff. They had a lot of like vintage 80s items from like old 80s movies and stuff like that, like Big Trouble in Little China and other classic 80s movies and just memorabilia. The show had 1 big room, and then it had 1 small room, and then it had this long hallway. So this is the bigger room here, when you had some horror stuff, which was really awesome, man. There was a bunch of different like masks and figures and things like that. The Leprechaun here, which is really awesome. My wife ended up actually buying this like trick-or-treat display from this vendor here, which, I mean, they were just really, really cool. They also had some comic stuff in these old like Matchbox cars with classic comic covers on them, which were really sweet, man. Then you got a bunch of different Funko Pops. I mean, there's Funko Pops just all over the place, just walls and walls full of them. And then you had a bunch of like Marvel Legends and stuff like that, and then just old school wrestling figures. And everything was priced accordingly too. Like, it didn't seem like anybody was trying to rip you off or anything. All the vendors were really nice and friendly towards everyone that was here. Everybody was open to making deals on items and stuff, which was really good as well. And everything, like I said, everything was priced accordingly, I feel. So it's always a good atmosphere to be in at a little convention thing like this, when everybody's kind of just like not out to rip you off or anything like that, and they're just all trying to, you know, basically put in your hands things that you want. So I had another comic spot here with a bunch of long boxes and then a bunch of wall books. I almost got that Howard Mackey Ghost Rider. I was tempted to get that, but I think I'm probably going to track that down just in a slab. But some great just variety in comics and stuff throughout here. You got the MJF AEW figure, which I almost grabbed actually myself too. But just like I said, great variety. There's that Big Trouble in Little China, some Alf. A great poster. We got Vern Troyer looking just absolutely crazy there. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Organic Priced Books, the best place to get your Omnibus and other collected editions. Super fast shipping, bulletproof packaging, and amazing customer service. Use promo code DROCK to get $2 off your purchase at organicpricebooks.com. Join the OPB family today. Then we had another vendor here with a bunch of different comics. We had some slabs, which was always nice to see. I always like to see some slabs up on the wall for sale. They actually had a Werewolf by Night. They had the Iron Fist, Sabretooth first appearance. So they had a good variety of comics and stuff like that just in the boxes. And he was also giving away some sort of sick deal. These awesome like Matchbox cars things with classic covers on them from the X-Men and like Incredible Hulk and Wolverine. So that was really sick. I almost picked these up too, but I have like literally nowhere to put these things. I don't know what I would do with them, but they're real cool. Some OG math toys like Cabbage Patch dolls, then some more Funko Pops, some more of those like Spider-Man figures. Just so much like variety in these vendors. Just all sorts of great stuff throughout this con. Some Pokemon cards. There was one table just full of Pokemon cards. Some of these DC McFarlane figures. They got the Dark Knight Returns Joker here, which looks really good with that like Zoot suit, that version of the Joker that I love so much. But really just fantastic stuff, man. They had some Swamp Thing pops, man. I almost got the glow in the dark one because I have the other one, but you know, I'm not really trying to collect pops like that anymore, so I figured I'd just pass on it. You know, I came here just kind of trying to hold myself and not buy a bunch of stuff. This Predator mask, which was really sick, that also had the gloves to go with it too, so you got the whole Predator get up there, which was pretty fucking awesome. Just real good variety of stuff. Predator figures, like I said, Halloween masks just randomly. Just a bunch of random stuff. That sick Harley Quinn bank that they had there. Just a really cool con to go to, man. I'm glad that we ended up going. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to make it or not. I actually hit up Very Gary to see if he was going or not, and he wasn't sure because he's been setting up for a New York Comic Con. Then just some more of the Marvel Legends, man. They had a ton of Marvel. It's just really, I'm not like a huge fan of these Marvel Legends figures, which is kind of funny because what I ended up getting from this whole con here was actually a Marvel Legends figure. But it's just dope seeing all these lined out through everywhere. Like, I can imagine just having a wall full of these would just look really fucking sick. But some more of those DC stuff, the Batman movie. So there's that damn Cody Rhodes figure again, that damn traitor. You get the Ultimate Warrior, like the Castle of Grayskull version, which is pretty sick. So this is along the hallway that was there. So they had a bunch of different booths throughout this whole area too. Some old school Spawn stuff, the Angela, the big old Violator here, man, which was all like very cheaply priced too. I think this was like 15 or 20 bucks still in the box, which is a really great deal. Some more like old school style figures throughout here. There's also some Star Wars stuff that will come up later throughout it. And then you also got some more comics throughout here. So they just had keys just chilling on the table here that you could check out. So just a great selection throughout this whole con. And like I said, everybody was so nice and just, you know, letting you grab and look at whatever you want. So, you know, I almost grabbed that damn Thor issue because I kind of been looking after that for a while too, but I was trying to keep my cool throughout this whole place because I didn't want to spend a ton of money. But man, they had some great stuff. The Infinity Gauntlet there, and then they had all these old school Star Wars toys, which is just really fun to see just out in the open at this place. So you had all these different ships and stuff like that from the Star Wars. All the really old Star Wars figures, and these went for quite a bit, like the X-Wing here. I think all these were like $400+ or whatever. But then they had the sick Proton pack from the Ghostbusters replica, like that actual like lights up and stuff like that, which was really cool to see. Just a great selection, man. This was fun as hell. It was like $5 to get in, and you know, me and my wife had a great time while we were here. Another place with a bunch of different comics. So you had some slabs up there. They had that Mind Bomb fucking that I have. Some long boxes. Just great selection throughout this whole thing. A bunch of these really the old school wrestling figures, like the Bendies with a hot rod and this weird little Double Dare like play set, man. Love seeing like old toys like that out in the wild. Just really dope stuff here. This Hellboy, which was also very sick, man. I was very tempted to get this Mezco giant Hellboy figure. Officer Bar Brady there in the back. Then they had some like video games and stuff throughout here too. So we had a great time at the Newburgh Toy and Collector Show. I ended up picking up this Marvel Legends Mr. Sinister figure and walking away with it. Let me know down in the comments what you would have picked up. And as always, thank you for watching. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are giving away Thor by Walter Simonson Omnibus and a mystery slab. All you got to do to get yourself entered in the giveaway is be subscribed to the channel, like and comment on a video where I mentioned this giveaway. When we hit 1,000 subs, I'll use a random comment generator to announce the winner. Good luck!